Ang pagdinig ng Senado sa korapsyon sa Bureau of Correction. Naroon pa rin po si Mayan Corbera para sa update. Mayan.
Nasin ito na ang ika-anim na pagdinig ng Senate Justice at the Ribbon Committee kaugnay ng kontrobersyal na pagpapalaya sa mga bilanggo na nahatulan ng heinous crime. Kasama sa humaharap ngayon sa pagdinig ng Senado, sina dating Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre at ang si Baguio City Mayor at dating CIDG Director Benjamin Magalong. Sa pagdinig kanina, inilabas ng NBI ang palitan ng text messages ng whistleblower na si Yolanda Camilon at mga inaakusahang opisyal ng Bucor kabilang na si Veronica Bunyo. Pero isinangkala ni Bunyo ang kanyang rights against self-incrimination at matigas na hindi ka rin nakipag-usap kay ng hingi ng pera kapalit ng GCPA. Dahil dito, napilitan ng NBI na isilbi kay Bunyo ang court order para maisa-ilalim sa forensic. Isinalaysay naman ni dating CIDG Director Magalong ang nadiskubreng agaw bato scheme. Sa ganitong sistema, kauhan, kasama pa ang iba ng PNP. Pero gaya ng kanilang sindikato ay meron daw silang dinudukot na ilang Chinese nationals at ito ay ipinapatubos sa malaking halaga habang ang nakukumpiskang droga sa mga ito ay hindi lahat isinusurrender. Sabi ni Magalong sa kanilang pag-iimbestiga, lumilitaw na ang link ng lahat ng ito ay nagkakaroon ng transaksyon sa New Bilibid Prison. Narito ang bahagi ng pagdinig ng Senado.
PDEA agent. Nung nalaman ko, tinawag sa akin, tinawagan ko kagad yung officer who led the supposedly arrest. At sinabi ko sa kanya, ilabas niyo yan. Ilabas niyo yan. I will not condone it. Yung officer ho na yun, na nag-lead nung alleged na arrest, he was killed 2 years ago, last year. Mabuti pinakawalan po yung PDEA agent. Immediately, pinakawalan mo nila yung PDEA agent.
Proceed with your affidavit, sir, so we can finish that and then we can go on executive session.
That initially, Co-Plan Cronus was exclusively a CIDG project. However, after gathering adequate evidence and information on the illegal drug trade managed inside the NBP, I instigated a meeting with then Secretary Justice Laila De Lima, SOJ De Lima for brevity, sometime in May 2014 to discuss with her our findings. Upon my arrival at the office of SOJ De Lima, I saw a whiteboard with a link diagram showing personalities associated with NBP. I learned a few months later that the diagram was provided by ISA. That before the meeting ended, I conveyed to SOJ De Lima that the CIDG and PDEA have a more updated and comprehensive link diagram. I also articulated to her the urgent need to raid NBP and to isolate the high-profile inmates to be guarded by the PNP SAP. SOJ De Lima replied that she will call for a high-level meeting to discuss my proposal. That on June 26, 2014, I attended a formal meeting with the SOJ. Also present in that meeting were former Director General Arturo Cacdac of PDEA, Director Virgilio Mendez of NBI, General Eduardo Año, who is now the Secretary of DILG of ISA, Rafael Ragos of NBI, and some select officials. I and the other attendees were surprised to see Rafael Ragos in attendance. I spoke in private with SOJ De Lima and expressed to her my reservations with Mr. Ragos. The SOJ subtly asked him to leave that meeting. During the meeting, I briefed the attendees and SOJ De Lima about our ongoing investigation. When I showed SOJ De Lima several photos of the cubos of suspected drug personalities, she got angry and agitated to the point that she wanted to immediately proceed to the site to personally raid the structures. Fortunately, Director Mendez was able to pacify her. Thereafter, the SOJ directed the attendees to hold planning sessions. I suggested that General Kakdak will take the lead, considering that today is the primary agency in the drug campaign. Utmost confidentiality was emphasized in that meeting. That as an offshoot of the said high-level meeting, 4 planning sessions were held on July 7, 9, 11, and 15, 2014 at the ICON office in Pidea. During the first meeting, CIDG presented co-plan Cronus to jumpstart the discussion. After 4 meetings, the attendees finally crafted a comprehensive plan on how to carry out the raid, which included the seizure of drug, cash, firearms, and contraband, destruction of Kubul structures, and isolation of high-profile drug inmates. That in our last planning session on July 15, 2014, I invited Director Bukayo of Bucor after securing clearance from SOJ de Lima. We found that the need to invite him because we need his inputs in the planning. Being the head of Bucor, his broad knowledge of NPP is critical to the plan. Ironically, in several instances, Director Bukayo appeared unsupportive of the plan. He provided information that seemingly would discourage the launching of the raid. He also raised his concern over his safety. He then manifested that the raid should be launched or should be delayed, citing should not be launched or should be delayed, citing various reasons, and even suggested that the raiding teams should be armed with search warrant. That the high-level meeting was again convened sometime in August 2015 to apprise Secretary de Lima and other attendees. I informed the SOJ that General Kakdak declined to head the operation and that Director Bukayo was hesitant to take his place. I volunteered to act as the ground commander and to lead the raid. That in the same meeting, I reiterated to SOJ de Lima that all high-profile drug inmates should be immediately isolated after the raid and suggested that PNP staff guard the isolation facility. When the penal colonies in Palawan and Zamboanga were recommended as possible isolation areas for the inmates, SOJ de Lima stated the department has available funds in the amount of 12 million to fix said facilities. We also came to an agreement that a joint letter of instruction covering the raid will be signed by SOJ de Lima and then SILG Mar Rojas. Every Wednesday po ang meeting namin kay Secretary Rojas. And I informed him of this impending operation. And he was very enthusiastic. Subsequently, I informed SILG Rojas of this forthcoming joint operation and the joint letter of instruction. That sometime in September 2014, Director Bukayo and then PAOK Director Reginald Villasanta, PAOK means Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, came to my office in CIDG. Director Bukayo expressed his misgivings about the planned operation. He attempted to dissuade me from launching the raid because, according to him, his life and that of his family will be in danger. I told him that only Secretary de Lima can decide if the raid will be carried out. Thereafter, I was surprised when Director Bukayo asked me to set up a meeting with him and Secretary de Lima. Nagtataka po ako, bakit ako pa po ang magpapaset up ng meeting and when in fact, direct report po siya kay Secretary de Lima. Nonetheless, I acceded to his request and called up SOJ, who replied that she will call for the Bucor chief for a meeting. That after that meeting with General Bukayo and General Villasanta, I have not received any further notice from the SOJ regarding the planned raid. Similarly, our PDEA counterpart was also inquiring from my staff in CIDG for any development. In a few instances, when I had the opportunity to meet and speak with SOJ de Lima, I followed up the plan and inquired as to when the raid would be launched. Ang sabi niya, hintay ka lang, Benji, hintay ka lang. But sometime in early December 2014, I learned from a reliable source that the plan to raid the NPP without the participation of CIDG is underway. When I mention here, Your Honor and Mr. Chair, about the reliable source. Ang kausap ko po noon si General Garbo. Yes, Mr. Chair. Ang ginawa po, nangyari po dito, I was in my office, then here comes a call from General Garbo for me to report to his quarters inside Camp Crame. We were talking other operational matters. It was not about the NBP. And then suddenly, here comes a call. Nung sinagot niya, nag-uusap sila, I noticed 3 keywords. Una is, there is an impending operation, kasama ang SAC, kasama ang CRPO, and kasama ang K9. With all these keywords, I was able to piece everything together. There is an impending operation and a raid of the NBP. So, tinanong ko sa agad, Sir, are you referring to, nung binaba niya yung telepono, sabi niya, Sir, meron pala kayong operation. Yan ba, Sir, yung NBP? Sabi niya, at nagpre-prepare na nga kami. After that, Sir, hindi ko na siya kinausap, umalis na ako. Tinawagan ko yung PIDEA, tinawagan ko yung Head of Intelligence, yung IIS, si Randy Pedroso. Tinanong ko sa kanya, kasi siya ang kasama ko lagi dun sa planning session. Sabi ko sa kanya, Randy, meron na ba kayong kasama ba kayo doon sa operation sa NBP? Sabi niya, Sir, wala po akong alam dyan. Hindi ka ba tinawagan ng PIDEA? Wala po, Sir. Sir, pwede bang bigyan ko kayo ng feedback? At may tatanungin na ako. After a few minutes, tumawag siya sa akin. And sabi niya, Sir, may request for K9. With that, we were able to realize na hindi kami pala isinama, Sir, sa operations. So, tumahimik na lang po kami. So, nangyari po noon, naghintay na lang kami until we found out that in December 15, I learned that the DOJ, NBI, PAO, Bucor, PNP SAC, NCRPO, and PIDEA K9 raided the NBP. That ends my...
Is there any possible reason why you would be excluded from the raid? Ba't ka in-explore? Ang tagal lang. Magsimula kayo Mayo, di ba? Mayo.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Nag-raid po, December na. Latter half of December. Kasama ka sa pagpaplano, sinabi mo sa matataas, meron nangyayaring kubol dyan, na siguro dapat public knowledge na yan. Alam naman ang tao lahat na bumibisita na, meron na. Alam na, bakit kayo hindi sinama sa raid? Hindi kayo sinama sa raid. Samantala kayo ang pinaka-enthusiastic.
Mr. Chair, hanggang ngayon po, palaisipan sa akin kung bakit po ako hindi isinama, bakit po kami hindi isinama. At nagtataka rin po kami kung bakit inabot po hanggang December. Tapos na po yung planning session noong July. At dapat po sana, standard lang po sa law enforcement, after a planning session, it will only take us two weeks to prepare, and then we launch the operation. But in this particular case, grabe po yung delay. Kung titingnan nyo po, almost 5 months ang delay.
That is precisely my question. Tapos na kayo magplano, matagal na, hindi pa rin tinuloy. Ano ba ang re-raiding nyo talaga doon?
Sir, we were after yung contrabands. And
Contraband meaning may
drugs, firearms.
Akala ko ba walang ginagawang drugs doon? Sir, gumagamit ng drugs, pero hindi
Yes, sir.
ginagawa ng drugs.
Yun yung mga gumagamit, sir, doon. Grabe rin po ang bentahan ng drugs sa loob.
Opo.
Kasi gumagamit ng pusila. Ang totoo po niyan, if you're a drug dealer, usually, sir, you also use drugs.
User ka rin.
User ka rin. Yan po yan.
So, anong target nyo doon?
Ang target po namin doon, yung mga dokumento, yung files, yung hard drive sa mga computers po nila. Alam niyo po,
So, may computer sila sa loob.
meron din po silang computers doon.
Meron ba kayo nalaman?
Meron din po silang ledgers doon.
Ha?
Yung po yung mga target po namin doon.
Mga ledger.
Yes, sir.
Doon pa sa raid nila Bukayo, later on. Yung ba nakuha nila yung mga sinasabi mo?
Nung tinitingnan ko po yung inventory ng kanilang raid, based on news reports, wala pong lumalabas na may nakuha po silang mga dokumento. Wala po silang nakuha mga hard drive. Kaya
December 2015 na yan. No? I don't like to say this because baka sabihin na naman, pinag-iinitan ako, meron akong dinadala sa investigasyon. No? But I have to ask this. Ang eleksyon 2016 May,
yes, Mr. Chair.
sandali na lang, mag-eleksyon na.
That was ang election po 2016. So 1 year and 5 months.
In fact, nagpalit na later on. Ano ba ang nakita din sa raid? Hindi ba dapat naman malaman ng tao talaga na anong nahuli yung mga kubol? Meron mga litrato dyan, nag-raid nga yung Secretary of Justice, nag-raid sila, napasok nila yung mga kubol, nagulat ng tao, ang lalaki pala nito mga tao ito, meron silang air conditioning, meron silang computer, meron silang gamit. Sa palagay nyo kung kayo nakapag-raid doon, ano mangyayari?
Yun nga po ang nabanggit ko po sa aming post-briefing nung after nakita po namin yung raid na yun. Hindi po nila nakita yung mga ibang targets na alam po namin kung saan tinatago po yung mga ibang mga pieces of evidence. No?
Hindi ka naman insider sa jail,
Merong marami.
At yan po mga balitang pumapagispas sa mga panig ng Pilipinas hanggang sa muli. Ito